In the Buddha's time, while Buddhism was still at its apex, King Pasenadi of Kosala would often go listen to the Dhamma. However, it was not appropriate for his wives to frequently go to the temple to hear the Dhamma. The wives thought, "It is very rare for a Buddha to be born in this world. It is also very rare for us to be born as human with all faculties intact. Yet we are very unlucky to not be able to freely listen to the Blessed One's teachings." One day, the king heard that the Buddha was sitting in a garden and went to go see him. There was a lay disciple named Chatapani seated at the Buddha's feet, listening intently to the Buddha's teachings. When the king arrived, the king paid his respects to the Buddha and sat to one side. The king noticed that Chatapani did not rise in honor of the king, nor did he salute him. This made the king very angry. Noticing the king's anger, the Buddha said, "King, this layman is truly spectacular. He has mastered the Dhamma teachings and has freed himself from the bondage of passion." The king realized that if the Buddha said this man is free from passion, he must be an anagami. The king then said to Chatapani, "Layman, if you are in need of anything, please let me know. It would be my honor to support you." After the Buddha finished his sermon, the king left. On another day, the king met with Chatapani and said, "Young man, I hear that you are a man of great learning. My many wives are very anxious to hear the Dhamma. I would be glad if you would come teach them at the palace." "Sire, it is not appropriate for a layman to teach the Dhamma to the king's harem. This is the job of the bhikkhus." The king then called all his wives together and announced his intention to invite a bhikkhu to teach his wives the Dhamma. He asked the women to decide which monk they wished to invite. The women unanimously chose Ananda, and from then on, Ananda would often come to the palace to teach Dhamma to the king's wives. One day, the king's prized jewel went missing. However, no matter how hard the servants searched, they could not find it. When the king heard that the jewel had gone missing, he had all the doors and exits blocked and ordered everyone on the grounds to be seized and searched. When the Venerable Ananda arrived to give a sermon, he noticed that all the women were worried and dejected. The elder asked them what had made them this way. "Venerable teacher, the king has lost a jewel and everyone is a suspect. We are afraid for our lives and will not feel safe until the jewel is found." "Don't think about it any further. I will speak to the king." The Venerable Ananda then asked the king what had happened. "It is true as you have heard, teacher. I have lost my precious jewel." "Do you care more about getting the item back or punishing the person who took it?" At this point, I just want my jewel back. Then you can get it back this way. You privately give everyone a bowl of clay or a wisp of straw. Then tell everyone to place the lump of clay or wisp of straw in a certain location by nightfall. This way, the man who took the jewel will have an opportunity to return it without incriminating himself. If it doesn't work on the first day, do it again on the second or third day. In this way, a large number of people will escape worry, and you will get your jewel back. However, even after 3 days, the jewel was not returned. After the third day, the king informed Ananda and said, "Venerable sir, it has been 3 days and the thief has still not returned the jewel." King, then we have to move on to another plan. Have a large screen put up. Put a large water pot behind it. Fill the water pot with water and drop flower petals all over the surface of the water. Then, give orders for all the people who frequent the palace to go behind the screen and wash their hands and then come back. When the thief heard the king's orders, he thought, Ananda has taken this matter in hand and will not let things rest. I must give up the jewel. So, the thief took the jewel and put it under his outer garment and got in line. He dropped the jewel into the water. After everyone had gone, the pot was smashed. The jewel was found on the floor. The king was ecstatic that his jewel was found. The palace residents were also happy that they no longer had to worry for their lives. When word of these events spread, the Bhikkhus at the temple gathered and said, "The great knowledge, cleverness, and compassion of the elder Ananda have helped the king recover his lost jewel, as well as saved many people who were worried for their lives." When the Buddha was told of the topic of discussion, he said, "Bhikkhus, this is not the first time that what had been stolen has been found. Nor is Ananda the only person who has brought about such a discovery through cleverness. In the past, the wise and good discovered what had been stolen, and also saved a lot of people from stress and trouble." Upon the Bhikkhu's request, the Buddha told this story of the past. What did you learn from this story? Let us know in the comments. We hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you did, and click subscribe if you want to see our uploads. And consider making a donation to support our Buddhist animation project.